we've just seen the statement come out, Lex scans ruling him out for 4 to 6 weeks. I guess what sort of a blow is that to you, first and foremost, and also for Lex, I guess, with just it puts his Asian Cup in jeopardy, let alone the A-League men's season.
Yeah, very disappointing for Lex and obviously for the team. Yeah, it's a big blow for us, but yeah, we just wish him a speedy recovery. It's not an easy one, and to be honest, it was a little bit innocuous. He wasn't even sprinting. He was almost standing still and ready to turn, and just felt something. Unfortunately, yeah, they say it's around 4 to 6 weeks. So, yeah, unfortunately now we just got to wait a bit of rehab, Mother Nature, and yeah, let's see where it happens. Unfortunately, yeah, for the national team as well, not good, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, when you're playing sports, you can get injured. It's a little bit hard to take because he's done a hell of a lot of work after the knee injury, getting himself into pretty good condition, and we sort of eased him in that game against Kofu for 10 or 15 minutes, and gave him about 30 odd minutes against Newcastle, and then started him against Perth. So he was actually building momentum in terms of match fitness. Unfortunately, that happened the other night.
I think Jamie was supposed to get scans to his ankle after the game as well. Have you had the results back from that?
Yeah, he has a little bit of an issue with his ligaments as well, but structurally it's all great. It's just about how much pain he can cope with. So it's just going to be a pain management thing for him. So he's fine.
He can play, it's just like he'll need to be managed to pain.
Yeah, there's how much pain he can cope. There'll be some movements, obviously, that he's going to feel, but he can't do any more damage. Structurally, everything is fine. It's just about how he's going to manage the pain.
So, sorry, Jay. Do you think that Jamie will be right for the Asian Cup if picked? He's just going to manage it through the tournament?
I don't care about the Asian Cup, Marco. I'm more worried about him getting ready for Central Coast. So Central Coast and then the big derby. So whatever happens, if he's picked, and then he's picked. If he's not, then that's it. So he's absolutely fine to play. As I said, it's just about how much pain he can manage. That's all it is.
So what's the recovery like that for Aurelio? Will the pain go away with time, or will it be something where eventually he'll need to just take time off, be it in the off season or at some point this season, and just rest it for the pain to go away?
No, it's just over a time period, Joey. Probably 6 to 8 weeks. It can be a little bit stubborn, this one, but it's a little bit like, you know, when you got knee bruising or an ankle bruise, where it just takes, 6 to 8 weeks where completely pain disappears. So, for example, when we flew back from Perth, it came back a little bit swollen. So probably the good thing is that certainly over the next few weeks, we don't have to travel, so we'll be here. So that'll be a little bit easier for us to manage.
I imagine this is just another wet thump in what has been a really difficult week for you and the boys, Aurelio. Obviously, the ACL results confirmed the day after your game that you were eliminated. What do you say right now to the boys? I imagine they're feeling pretty down.
Yeah, well, we had a meeting just about an hour ago, and look, everyone is obviously disappointed because we should have won that game. We really needed that second goal, and we had opportunities to take that second goal to make the game a little bit more comfortable. And unfortunately, we conceded a goal in the last seconds from a set piece. And thing for us now is that it's happened. There's nothing we can do. We had a couple of days off, so we've had our little bit of time where we could have a little cry and a little bit of a sulk. But now we just got to change our attitude now, what's done is done, and we just got to get ready and prepare for Central Coast. And the first half was a bit sketchy, but certainly our second half we played probably some of the best football we've played all year. And obviously towards the end, they were trying to get a goal, and they put us under a little bit of pressure. We could have still been a little bit more aggressive in that last 10 or so minutes. That's something that we can continually need to work on. But for me, there's a lot of positive signs, a lot of positives. There's nothing there that tells me that we're in any sort of trouble. Again, it's about now bouncing back, and the good teams do bounce back. And we certainly have the quality in this group. We certainly need our attitude to be right, and that's probably always something after a game like that takes you a couple of days to get over. And I think what's important is once you get that first training session out the way, the mentality changes. But we had a really good meeting this morning, and there's some dejected boys there, but they're certainly bouncy, and we're going to have a really nice training session this morning. And once that's done and dusted, then we will have our last little prep tomorrow in terms of getting ready for Central Coast.
In terms of the...
Sorry, mate. With Lex, you know how this injury has just happened after the knee injury. Is that maybe because of the overcompensation when you got one injury and then you come back, and that can be a danger of like happening in like another part of the body?
I don't know, Marco. Probably I'm no medical expert, but he did everything he possibly could to get himself in good shape. We really managed him in terms of how he played his minutes from the first game to the one the other night. So it was a gradual build-up. He said he was feeling absolutely fine prior to the game. So there was no indication to say, oh yeah, I've got tight hammies, or I'm sore somewhere, that it was going to be any of a concern for us. So that's why he started the game again. Just one of those things.
And mate, I know you weren't there last year for the final, but a few of the boys were. Will you mention that going into this game and what happened in the grand final last year?
Well, it's definitely a grand final rematch, as we know. I wasn't here. We've got probably half a dozen boys that were here. I'm not going to touch on it. If anyone was going to touch on it, was when they were here at the beginning of pre-season. That's when it should have been touched on. So for me, it's new. Yes, it's a grand final rematch. Obviously, another big game. They're coming off a nice win as well. So that's going to be our focus. Our focus is on what we're going to do set up against them, and what we're going to do where we can threaten them in behind the defence, and how we're going to win the game. So the history is history. Obviously wasn't a nice result, especially in a grand final, but they were in a pretty nice patch of form leading into that final series as well. So, and they've also lost players. They've also lost the coach. They haven't started too well. They're getting things together over the last couple of weeks. So, different set of circumstances, I say, Marco.
In terms of the health and fitness of your squad outside of Jamie and Lex, Aurelio, is there anybody else that you've got coming back? Someone like a Nuno Reis or anyone? Or what's the status of your other players?
No, Nuno's, besides game fitness, Nuno's fine from his injury. We had him play 45 minutes in a friendly game with NPL 5-6 days ago, just so he can, because besides that, he's not going to get any match fitness unless he gets a start in our team. So he's all fine. I think he had 2 sessions with us last week as well. So again, he's building. It's just needing to be patient, waiting for his chance again.
The Mariners' travails at Amy Park, it's very well known. They haven't won at Amy Park in
thanks, mate.
years and years.
You started that now. you get on that train, it's just left, mate.
Is that a mental edge for your boys, knowing just how much of the wood they've had over the Mariners, and every team has had over the Mariners at Amy Park?
Oh, who knows? I think someone said that about MacArthur at Amy Park as well, didn't they? I think that might have been you, or was that Anna? I can't remember now. Anyway, the history's there for a reason. History's always there to be broken. So, if we prep right, if our guys are ready mentally, and for us, it's not a physical thing. We've got data to suggest that we run out games fine. We're fit. We're doing a lot of high-speed meters. Although we've had so many games in a short space of time and all the travel, our numbers are still stacking up quite nicely. So that's not an issue. The issue will be for us if we're not mentally prepared, if we're not ready with the right attitude. That'll be it for us.